So the person that was sidelined made Kofi Kingston take his spot in the Elimination Chamber, was a jobber for basically over a year, was hinted to be this huge hacker storyline they put on SmackDown, is now somehow the leader of the biggest joke of a group that was Retribution, until last night when it got pretty serious. Yeah, if you missed Raw, you probably missed the biggest swerve in recent Raw history when Mustafa Ali got revealed as the Retribution leader? What? What's up, everybody? We are back for another video. Hello. So, we're going to talk about the intro in a little bit because we have a lot to get to. I mean, Rollins now has no disciples, so we got to talk about that too. So let's get started. So Raw, of course, starts out in the Legends Lounge, even though the only legend that was there is Orton. So Orton says how back at Clash of Champions, he left in an ambulance and he was attacked by all of these legends that hurt him at the Clash of Champions match. You know, Big Show, Christian, Ric Flair, and Shawn Michaels. He is hurt that all these legends attacked him, even though he deserved it. It was coming for him. Drew doesn't deserve the title because Drew cheated by having all these legends come out and help him, even though Drew didn't know, but he knew at the same time. He will take whatever it takes to be champion again. And that means challenging Drew to a Hell in a Cell match, as there is still hell to pay for Drew. Drew will have his legacy be completed if he beats Orton. I mean, Orton is one of those superstars that are kind of synonymous with Hell in a Cell, but not at the same time. And if he beats him, that's going to be one hell of a legacy because he beat Orton twice. There's not too many people that did that. I don't even think Rollins did that. So Drew comes in, beats up Orton, and then officials, break it up, and then Orton's able to escape. But this is not the last time we see these two because of the main event later on tonight. We need to talk about the 6-woman tag match. So, it was good, except what happened after. So it was Asuka and Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke versus Lena Vega, Natalya, and Lana. And I understand the reason for putting Natalya and Lana together was for Natalya to kind of teach Lana how to wrestle, since there's really nothing else for her, and she has this 5-year contract with WWE. But this is the third time that you're having the same thing. So, Mandy Rose gets the win, and then Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler come out, and they beat Natalya and Lana, and once again, for the third time, not consecutively, Lana gets put through a table. Have we not taught our women's division to be better than this WWE? Why? Unless there is some major payoff that is coming from us, don't show it to me on my TV next week. Or you're going to see me here have a meltdown that you're going to do it for a 4th time. Stop doing this. And that goes for our next segment. Please stop with the 24/7 title. So, R-Truth is standing there and he's doing a mock draft. So he's joking about the fact that him and Little Jimmy are going to be separated, and R-Truth's going to stay on Raw, and then Little Jimmy's going to go to SmackDown in the 3rd round. And then Gulak, who's disguised as a janitor, which is a kind of sub from Orton last week, he hits Truth with the mop, and he becomes a new 24/7 champion. Please stop doing this. This is now stupid, and Gulak deserves better. Poor Brian. He did all that work, and now it's going down the drain. MVP then has a very nice offer. So it's Ricochet, Cruz, and Ali, and they're saying that how our MVP is saying how the draft can change their career and it can make something out of them. Since the 3 of them are we're jobbers, but now we're trying to get into a storyline. But as we said in the beginning, Ali gets the payoff, and MVP says that for one night only, they're able to join the Hurt Business and be coached by MVP. But Ricochet stands there and starts to contemplate the offer as Ali and Cruz walk away. So you're oh, is Ricochet finally going to turn? Nope. We'll get there. We will get there. Oh, Rollins. So, Rollins and Murphy versus Humberto Carrillo and Dominic Mysterio. So, Murphy tries to cut a promo and says he wants Rollins to apologize to Aaliyah, and Rollins is just screaming that Murphy's not in charge of Rollins, and for the 50th time, I think he said 50 times, remember, Messiah, disciple, Messiah, disciple, and I would just, like, when Becky finally has, like, hit her and Rollins' baby, just, like, child, dad, I was dying. And I was shocked none of the Rollins fan pages I follow on Twitter said that, because they're the type of people that do that. Rollins could have done so much worse, and, you know, he could have exposed DMs that Aaliyah said that they only care about Dominic and they don't care about Aaliyah, and that she doesn't necessarily like her family, and he didn't do that. And all throughout match, Rollins just yelling at Murphy, like, I don't need you, stop getting involved, like, stop making the blind tags, like, I got this. And Murphy gets the win, and he walks out on Rollins. I mean, I know Rollins is leaving, but now he doesn't have any friends. You're leaving him alone. Poor Colby. Just poor Colby. So, I was going to say rip to Raw Underground. I don't know if this is part of COVID, like why this is happening, because I know that a lot of the NXT superstars, like, they had that party, and, like, that's why they can't train at the PC, or, whatever the new name of it is. I forgot what it is off the top of my head. But, you know, we can't train there, so that means no Raw Underground. So that was a nice 3-month build. Goodbye. So Strowman wants a match. He drove all the way to Raw, and he knows that Raw Underground's not taking place, but he badly wants a match. And Adam Pearce, because he's apparently in charge of the whole company, he's going to sign Strowman up for an exhibition match. And he's like, who should I pick? And then Keith Lee just comes, sign me up. On a regular day, I'd be really excited for this match, but knowing, like, that it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, I was very disappointed. Rollins then approaches Murphy, and Murphy says, like, he should apologize for what he's been doing, and Rollins like, no, for what you did to me, I deserve an apology, and you have an hour to do so. And it was so funny, because I think it was like with 20 minutes left, they put in the little corner of your screen, deadline to apology, 20 minutes. And I was like, that's so great. Only in WWE you'll find these things, by the way, like no other sport or anything, just WWE. Kevin Owens show next, and this was very good. I loved this segment. So Owens comes out and he says that everyone is right. When you come in contact with the Fiend, he changes people. We saw it with Rollins, we saw it with Alexa Bliss, we saw it with Strowman, we saw it with so many people. And soon it will be Roman. I think. I don't know. So he's ready for a fight. The Firefly Funhouse begins, and he calls Owens his friend, and they sing a song about friends, which is very funny. And Owens, he doesn't want to be brainwashed. He just wants to fight. He just wants to fight Bray. And Bray says, my problems aren't between me and you. Your problems are between you and him. And this Friday on SmackDown, you're going to figure out, like, what that means. And Owens like, I don't want to wait for Friday. I want to do it now. So Owens goes to try to find the Firefly Funhouse, which only 2 people have done. One of them was Rollins, by the way. And Black attacks from behind. My favorite thing, though, this was really funny. In the beginning, Owens like, I just don't understand why all these dark people, like, are coming for me. First it was Aleister Black, now it's the Fiend, it's the Brood next, the Ministry Corporation. Like, I was dying because it was so funny. I was like, yes, Kevin, all these people just have a dark persona and just want to attack you. That's it. That is it. Drew does an interview next and says that he's accepting Ray's challenge for Hell in a Cell, and every week he just keeps getting Ray just keeps getting the crap beat out of him, and there's going to be no difference tonight. It's not going to be different for Hell in a Cell, and Drew is going to find a way to win. Okay. Sure. By the way, still, if you have not checked out the Drew McIntyre 24, please go watch it. It's so good. Keith Lee versus Braun Strowman. I'm going to tell you a very interesting statistic that I found on Twitter this morning. So, Keith Lee has had 8 matches on the main roster. 5 of them had ended in some sort of fashion of a count out, a DQ, no finish. What are you doing? Keith Lee is a once-in-a-lifetime talent. Whoa, can we please, U.S. title? I am telling you, him and Bobby will do money. Please do it. Please, please. Or after Orton, put him with Drew. I don't want that, though, but do something with him. I'm begging you. I'm begging you. It's so sad. Hopefully the draft finds him well. So the match ends in a double count out because they were just fighting outside the ring the whole time, and then both of them get angry and they continue brawling, and they, go on the stage, and then it ends with Lee spearing Strowman off the stage to the table. Please do something with this. If you want to continue this feud, that's fine, but stop giving him no finishes. That just makes him feel weak. And Lee's really strong. Lee's a great talent. Don't waste him. You're going to make Triple H very sad. And Lee will join a list of people that just get buried on the main roster. So now, Drew Gulak is in janitor room trying to hide, and then R-Truth finds him, and then Zob was somehow there in a garbage can, and they have this triple threat match, and one of those garbage cans that you wheel, the bigger ones, and Truth got his baby back. Stop this. So, first of two matches with the Hurt Business. So we have Cruz and Ricochet versus Lashley and Benjamin. So MVP starts by cutting a promo saying that, he didn't lose last week, and Cruz and Ricochet can win a match here and there, but they're not going to win a fight, and the Hurt Business is so much better than them, and MVP blames Retribution, the lights flickered during the match, and he was distracted, to which Cruz and Ricochet and Ali were like, "You're scared of the lights flickering? What a baby." Okay. They reject joining the Hurt Business. Ricochet's like, "I gotta get something off my chest about your offer. I pass on your offer. Ha 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 ha." And, MVP tells Lashley and Benjamin that to especially beat down Ricochet. Lashley and Benjamin won here. This is a good match. I like the Hurt Business. I'm kind of wondering where Cedric is, though. Does Cedric have COVID? He hasn't been there for 2 weeks. I think the excuse they said on TV was that he was in Hurt Business training camp. I think that was what they said, so I don't know. Please bring him back. Just have him and Ali feud for a little bit. That's the good stuff, people. Someone just make me write WWE television. I do a great job. So we see Ali and Murphy talking backstage, and Lee's like, "I've been waiting to talk to you all night. Where have you been?" And he's like, I'm sorry. And Ali just looks at Murphy and he's like, "Are you still considering apologizing to Seth?" And Murphy just looks up and listens like this, and he's like, "I don't know. But what's next?" What's next is it's funny. I had a good time with this. So Rollins comes out and he's demanding the apology, and he's like, Murphy's not saying anything. And Rollins like, "You had an hour to think. Why are you still thinking? Why do you still not know what you're doing yet?" And so Murphy starts to attack Rollins, and then Rollins starts to beat him up with the and Murphy's attacking Rollins with the kendo stick, and Rollins like, I'm sorry. And Murphy's like, "You don't need to apologize to me. You need to apologize to Aaliyah." And Rollins there on his knees, he's like, "Aaliyah, wherever you are, I'm sorry." And then Rollins gets up, he goes for the eyes, and he starts beating down Murphy's with the kendo stick. Aaliyah runs out, and he's telling Rollins, stop hurting him, stop what you're doing, stop. And then the Mysterio family, poor Angie. Angie and Ray just walked out there two disappointed parents. What is my daughter doing? She is so stupid. And Dominic is escorting her out, and she's trying to look behind to see Murphy, and Dominic's just "What's the point? Why are you doing this? What's the point? Why are you so attached to him or whatever?" And Rollins is standing there backstage in Gorilla looking at the TV just "Look what I did. I destroyed a family right before I have my own family." So like we've been saying the past couple of weeks, I know Rollins is leaving soon. I'm assuming he's gonna leave around. If he's not leaving in Hell in a Cell, so I'm gonna assume that the plan is right now is that it's gonna be Murphy and Rollins in Hell in a Cell, and then either after, like, literally right after that, or Survivor Series Rollins is going to leave. So I'm really wondering to see, like, how, like, is this going to end in, like, a Murphy-Dominic feud or a Murphy-Ray feud? Like, that's what I'm kind of figuring is going to happen. But I like that they're trusting Murphy to really, like, go on his own in this huge storyline that Rollins has built for nearly a year, and they're giving it to Murphy. That shows something. That's really cool. So I'm excited to see what they're going to do with this. This tag title match, this women's tag title match was just so sad. Like, this has been hyped up. And Jackson Baszler, like, squashed them. Like, I understand why we have to give these titles, but, like, you're not doing anything with them. It's so sad. And I just want a real tag team to have them. I don't want Jackson Baszler. I hate them. Like, they should be going after Asuka. They are the only two people right now on the main roster that, like, are believable women's champions. Who else do you got? You're gonna make Asuka lose to Mandy Rose? That would be really bad. Don't do that. So the match is okay. I expected a little bit more offense, so that's where I was, like, kind of shocked, but what are you gonna do? The Street Profits cut a promo saying that they're gonna get the smoke and they want revenge for Drew, and they're gonna beat down Ziggler and Rude and Orton, and then Drew's like, they have to win tonight, losing is not an option. And then the best segment of the night. This actually should have closed the show. I don't know why it didn't, but it should have. So, it's Mustafa versus MVP. And earlier in the night, Ali was like, you know, bring them all. Bring Benjamin. Bring Lashley. I'm not going to bring anybody with me because I want to defeat you on my own. So, you know, they're wrestling. The match maybe went like 2 or 3 minutes and the lights flicker. And they're all standing in the ring, all 4 of them. And Ali's like, I got your back if you got mine. You know, we're all going to be done retribution together. And so Mustafa exits the ring and he's looking at Matt. It's Dio Madden, and I think it's Dijakovic. I can't tell. And Mustafa's like looking at them, and MVP's standing there like, yeah, let the beat the little guy down, and then we got you. And then Mustafa like looks at them, and he turns around and looks at MVP, and he's like, go get him. And then the whole wrestling universe is like, oh my god. Because remember, like, he was hinted to be the hacker, then they dropped that storyline. And then so my dad was trying to tell me that The Miz was trying to be the leader of Retribution, because when they did the whole attack on SmackDown, The Miz wasn't there. So my dad was like, it's The Miz, and I'm like, it's not The Miz. It wouldn't make sense for it to be The Miz. So I didn't really know who I thought it was, but I was so shocked. But then, like, if you think about it, it makes sense. He hinted that, like, everyone's truth was going to be revealed and, like, the hacker was going to be this huge thing. And the hacker hacked into the system and like, created Retribution. How genius is that? Thank you, WWE, for coming up with something so smart. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm so excited. And the best part was, you know, like, his whole thing is the light. And he stood there with Retribution, and he was like, lights out, and the whole place went dark. Thank you. I love long-term storytelling. Thank you. But this should have closed the show. I don't know why it didn't. Like, this was a top-notch angle, and I'm so excited to see what they do with it. This was great. Way to go. WWE. In our main event, I was kind of shocked. So we have Orton, Ziggler, and Rude versus Street Profits and McIntyre. So I thought McIntyre was going to get the win. And so this was a 10-minute main event, and, like, this is also the main reason I feel like the Ali segment should have ended, because I felt like the Ali storyline did more than this main event did for me. Because you're saying now Ziggler and Rude, after being gone as a tag team for, like, months, are now going to be the number 1 contenders for the Street Profits? That makes total sense. But yeah, so this match went 10 minutes, and Orton RKO'd. It wasn't McIntyre. It might have been McIntyre. I don't think it was, though. Anyone. Okay. This wasn't a strong way to end Raw. Like, I would have definitely switched to 2 segments. And that's your Raw review. This Raw was a little wishy-washy. I mean, there were segments that were good, there were segments that were bad. But the Ali segment just made up for the whole thing. The Mustafa Ali it just made Raw. It made Raw great. So So that's your Raw review. I'm hoping that they're going to give a list of who's eligible for the draft or not, so I can do my draft video. And then we're going to review Dynamite on Thursday. And the first day of the draft is Friday. Who's excited? Me! Make sure to like this video, comment your reactions to Raw, hit that bell for notifications, hit that subscribe button. I will see you either tomorrow or Thursday. Thank you for watching. Adios.